What is going on to all of my cancers? So you have the Three of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Chariot, the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Tower, the Hermit, the Sun, the King of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so the Chariot is Cancer crabs anyway. I don't know why this type of stuff happens to me, right? Like whenever it is I'm doing a reading, the zodiac sign of whatever the tarot represents happens to show up in the same reading that I'm doing it for. But um, what I'm saying here is that you have the Three of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Chariot, right? And this kind of speaks to how a lot of you Cancer crabs, a lot of people do want your attention. You have the Three of Cups, you have the Nine of Cups. So this speaks to an overabundance, of attention. A lot of people wanting to get your attention. A lot of people are wondering what you're up to. A lot of people may be even potentially inviting you out at this time. But a lot of you Cancer crabs don't want to do with any of it. You know what I mean? You may go as far as because of the fact that it's friends. Um, or this may even denote to dates where you may go on a date and the Three of Cups just represents that type of mindset that a lot of people have, or they're showing you where they're smiling and everyone is having fun. But a lot of you Cancer crabs may be dating just for the sake of it. A lot of you may be thinking that no matter how many times you may date, then you may never actually end up meeting someone that you like and that can actually be compatible with you and you compatible with them long term. So the Chariot is that the Chariot is you just kind of going on the last couple of dates for a while. You have the Chariot, which is the major arcana of Cancer crabs, but the Chariot also represents slowing down, right? Taking your time, paying attention to what's going on around you and your own importance as to the environment, right? So paying attention to the environment and then also paying attention to uh, what what kind of impact you have on the environment as well. You Cancer crabs are very good at doing that. Um, and I just see a lot of you just deciding to slow down. And see, the reason why I'm saying that in the first place is because this is the Chariot, right? So the Chariot is a major arcana. It's not like something small where it was something like, you know, you were potentially taking a break with like the eight of, you know what I mean? With the Eight of Pentacles, where you're sitting down here, or, potentially taking a break, as the Emperor. These are cards where people are sitting down in them, right? No, you have the Chariot, which is about it's all about slowing down. It's all about taking your time to just kind of rest. And the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands pretty much backs up everything that I was saying. The Five of Pentacles is about you kind of paying attention and like, oh, saying to yourself, oh, I think I better kind of take some time out from the dating pool because it's getting a little bit all over the place. This is you. This is you. And the Queen of Wands is it again, it speaks to what it is that you are not finding more than what it speaks to what you are finding. Because getting people to hang out with you is not a problem, but getting sincere people to hang out with you is the problem. And forget about all of that nonsense about you are what it is that you attract. Most people don't even know what they mean when they say things like that. What they mean when they say you are what you attract is, you can't control who comes up to you. You know what I mean? You can't control who comes up to you. Oh, I only want people with brown eyes to come up to me or something like this. You can't do that, right? That's just out there. What they mean when they say that you are who you attract, right? What it means is that it's a situation where The type of people that you let get close to you is your responsibility, is what they mean. So this is not one of those you are what you attract moments. This is one of those moments where a lot of you cancers understand that the quality of the people that you have been hanging out with may not necessarily been the best for you too. I'll say this though, a lot of you cancers need to get certain um, issues emotionally and mentally in check, because the Queen of Wands is not the card that you would want, right? Because I said this before, this card is orientated incorrectly. So it's the element of fire, which is wands. The element of fire is east, but this is in this person's right hand, which is west. So it's saying that in the mind state that you happen to be in right now, you need to be very careful, because what it's saying is if you go off on a tangent and you start making emotionally charged decisions, and don't worry, the video talking about emotions versus feelings is coming, because emotions and feelings are not the same thing. When you make an emotionally charged decision, you will handicap certain aspects of your life. So you need to be very attentive to this type of stuff. You don't want to go, tearing down aspects of your life and end up reverse engineering it, where you made so much progress before, and then you choose to be that way now that you've done the emotional work and you don't have to go back there. Now you willing to go back there and go right back into the same feedback loop that you were once in, that essentially did more tearing down than it did building up. If you Cancer crabs want to do that, if that's the intention, then go ahead. I mean, I'll support you in your empowerment or your self-destruction, right? But at the same time, if that's not something that you are trying to do, stay patient. You know what I mean? Don't start tripping out, losing your cool. The Tower and the Hermit represents how now this being the case, the Tower, right, is Scorpio. The Hermit is Virgo, right? Virgo and Scorpio used to share zodiac sign. Speak a lot of building and tearing down, right? A lot of building and tearing down energy, wanting to create something and wanting to get rid of something out of your life. Okay, potentially even doing some serious spring cleaning, but for, I don't know for y'all, but for me, the winter time, right? So the spring cleaning in the winter, even though winter and spring are two different seasons. So, but the point is that there's a need for you Cancer crabs to reinvent yourself, to start over with something. And yes, if that's something that you want to do, then by all means, like I said, I will support it. So, what you may need to kind of tear down, and the Hermit kind of denotes this, what you may need to tear down is the 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 quickness, or I should say the fastness or the quickness to want to be in a relationship, right? I know you Cancer crabs want love. um you want it, right? It's something that's very valuable to you. But you Cancer crabs got to get to a point where you don't need it. You know what I mean? Um, you really do. That's how it is that you attain it. Because it starts with self-love first and foremost. You got to build your own self-respect. You have to build your own self-love up first, because if you don't, then a lot of people are going to unfortunately try to take advantage of that. And Cancer crabs is one of those zodiac signs, and I've noticed this, right? Because I know plenty of Cancer crabs. My sister's boyfriend is a Cancer crab, known plenty of cancers. One of the people who I loved was a Cancer crab, known plenty of cancers, right? for anybody who tries to, and all that stuff. But the point is, right? The point that I'm trying to make here is that Cancer crabs, they they have so much emotion that a lot of y'all put a lot of you end up accelerating the relationship faster than what it is or what it needs to be sometimes, because sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but what it needs to be. Now, sometimes you may do that only with yourself, meaning that you may end up being in love with the or falling in love with the person, and you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Um, you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. And what I mean by that is, uh, because of your own emotions and what you perceive to yourself, this person may be one way, but you may be falsely perceiving them another way. And that's where things can end up becoming dysfunctional, because you may want too much integrity out of a person that doesn't necessarily have any. And the thing is that this, again, your emotional state is what you really have to get under control. You know what I mean? Um, so the thing about that is that the sun represents, you have to learn to attain that level of ego within yourself, right? That's necessary. A video coming about ego a video is going to come out about ego in the next couple of days, because it's very important, because I said I would do it. But at the same time, though, for now, the ego is very important. A lot of times people think that I was just bashing the egos, and this is why I really want people to start thinking for themselves. Stop being so emotionally swayed to one extreme from the other, and listen to what I'm actually, the message of what I'm actually saying. Don't be so emotionally charged up. Okay? Listen to the message of what I'm actually saying. So what happens is that the King of Wands and the Seven of Swords represents this being a situation for you where the King of Wands and the Seven of Swords is, once, listen, once you've attained that level of ego that you need, that level of self-respect, what will happen here is that it will become harder for people to walk all over you, or to impose on you, to disrespect you, right? Because you've been meeting a lot of people who, or you Cancer crabs meet a lot of people, not every time, but you end up meeting a lot of people who think of you as just being a crab, right? A sea insect, right? By the way, crabs are technically sea insects, along with all forms of shellfishes are considered insects. Now, to get that out of the way, fun fact. Now, with that being said, you meet people who think of you as just being merely that, but they don't necessarily seem to understand that Cancer crabs represent sustenance. It represents the fighting instinct, the impulse, right? It represents so many different things. It represents the materials, that the necessary materials for life, right? Food, water, shelter, air, right? So, sleep, things of this nature. So, a lot of times people underestimate the resourcefulness of you Cancers, and they underestimate a lot of your value, thinking that because of the fact that you are a sea bug, that somehow that's what you are. They treat you as a bug, regardless of to who or to what. A lot of people don't notice. Fun fact, and this is why it is that I say that people have to pay attention to what I'm saying and stop being so emotionally pumped up one way or the other, okay, in an extreme way, is because insects are actually quite organized, and they're quite intelligent and quite resourceful, and they are actually very good survivors. There's some of the strongest survivors that prevail over the years. You understand? So the point that I'm trying to make here with that is that there's a value in what a lot of you Cancer crabs do and in who you are. And the people that you've been meeting does not understand that, because they're delusional. They're distracted with the day to day, the day to day delusional things, better looks, how much money a person has, how cute the person is, what kind of sports car they have, all these delusional things that don't mean crap in the bigger scheme of things. Your car can be totaled. Your car can be repossessed. Your good looks are going to fade somewhat, even no matter how well you keep yourself up, right? Your your finances will wax and wane. There'll be times where you'll have to spend more. There'll be times where you'll have to spend less. So let's clarify the Sun card. That didn't take long at all. The Seven of Swords, the King of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Three of Wands. So the King of Swords, the King of Wands, excuse me, the Seven of Swords, King of Wands, excuse me. This represents the assumed combative mentality that a lot of people have towards you. They immediately underestimate you, disrespect you, because you Cancer crabs may not necessarily be the most flashy, right? 50 Cent, who is a Cancer crab, is not flashy like that. You would think so, but from what I hear from Tony Yayo, which is 50 Cent's one of 50 Cent's friends, right? Best friends. Tony Yayo said that 50 Cent doesn't really spend what he makes at all like that. Jewelry every now and again, a car just so that the IRS doesn't get it. So the point that I'm trying to make here is, with this type of mentality that a lot of people have, who's spending what, good looks, finances, trying to be flashy, spending $100,000 on a first date type of stuff. You got to understand, Cancer crowds, the Seven of Swords here, only delusional people who are caught up in that rat race of the dating pool is really going to approach anyone from that perspective, right? Let alone you Cancers, which isn't normally like, think about it. When's the last time you seen Mike Tyson, who is a Cancer crab, by the way, wear a Rolex? You understand what I'm saying? So the king of wands represents, like, you Cancers are not like that, but the king of wands represents you'll be all too glad to let them make themselves look like a fool, or look, because I can't say the fool because the fool is highly spiritual, but make themselves look all out there, way off. The Queen of Cups and the Three of Wands represents, and you'll just remain patient and continue to, or you should remain patient and continue to date at your own pace and at your own free will. And the knowledge that you learn here, right? Of course, the knowledge that you learn here and the knowledge that you learn anywhere else, because life is school, implement it and see if it works. And if it does, good. But that's pretty much it for this reading anyway. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Cancers. I'm trying to make my YouTube channel to 3,500 by the end of January. As of right now, I have 3,250 subscribers. Please, we're almost there. 250 subscribers left. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these beautiful videos. Thanks. Peace.